Myself right up on out of here. I feel like a disgrace, I'm not really what I appear. I go home to my girl and I make nice seem nice. The fact that she don't know that I just put someone on. I don't like being here. I constantly live in fear. Could be gone at any time. When you live a life of crime, face the music, do the time. I'm trapped again, and fate as always hasn't arrived again. I always get caught in my life of sin, but I just keep on going back again. You know I'm lost again, and all I wanted was to find a friend. Someone that I can always depend on to help me find my life again. You know I'm trapped again. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Mayhemtainment. I am your host, JD. Marcus Fredrickson plays us in and out of every episode of Mayhemtainment. Make sure you go check him out, reverbnation.com/Marcus Fredrickson. Share out your favorite song. And my guest on this very special live episode is a referee for Rudo's promotion and Wrestle Verite, Levi Lee. Levi, welcome to Mayhemtainment.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's always great to get people inside the squared circles. You are not our first referee, but you are our first male referee, which is cool. So that gives you a little something to put next to your name there, because I know people care about that.
Yeah.
So how long have you been refereeing?
So yesterday was my 1-year anniversary.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 1 year. How many matches have you refed in that 1 year?
I've reffed at least 30 to 40 at least.
30 to 40 matches. Very nice. Yeah. Any title matches?
I refereed my first title match, I think, like 2 months ago.
Okay. Which promotion was that, if I can ask?
It was for Rudo's Promotions. It was for like a vacant United States title.
Okay, excellent. I'm a fan of the U.S. title in the WCW, and I don't, the WWE doesn't treat it the same way, but I was always a fan of the U.S. title in the WCW days.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite, since we're talking about that, do you have a favorite non-world title that's out there in one of the wrestling promotions?
I would say probably like the heavyweight title.
Just a heavyweight title?
Yeah.
You've been refereeing for almost a year now. And I always like to ask referees some of the same questions. And one of those questions are, what do you see as the role of a referee inside a match, other than only counting the three and raising the hand or disqualifying somebody? What do you see as the role of a referee?
So what I see as a role of the referee is like the wrestler's safety and make sure the crowd doesn't get hurt if they do a dive over the top ropes, and kind of just keeping the match safe and clean,
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Actually, that was going to be one of my other questions was about safety, because I've seen there's video clips out there and stuff of referees, breaking, kayfabe and doing something that people argue about whether or not they should. But for me, anytime I've seen it, like when it's holding a table, steadying a ladder, anytime they're doing something to make sure that the wrestlers are safe, I don't have a problem with that. I think that's the right way to do it. I assume you are of a similar mind.
Yes, I am. I just like to keep the wrestlers safe and kind of, if they're going for a spot off a ladder, just make sure I hold the ladder steady with like another referee and just make sure it doesn't get like botched or something, or if the wrestler doesn't do the move right, that they don't end up hurting their neck or their head.
Yeah, how those the rings, I mean, they do have a little bit of, bounce to them a little bit. So I mean, that's concerning when you have the tables and ladders involved. Every time I always see a ladder or a table spot, it's always,
Hmm.
a bump, and then all of a sudden it's shifted out of position, or it's tipped on its side, and then, if the other wrestlers aren't aware of it, it could be a real hazard. So I think
Yeah.
steady. Anytime the referees are looking out for the wrestler's safety, I think is definitely one of their jobs. What about in terms of the match storytelling? How do you?
I kind of follow along with the storytelling. I kind of like go with it, like who's the bad guy, who's the good guy, kind of thing. Kind of know that it's me, a referee, is just kind of knowing who's gonna go over as like a heel or a baby face.
So it's important for you to know what's happening in the match as well before you actually go out there.
Yes.
We're not. We're gonna peel open the curtain just a tiny bit, everybody. Okay, just a tiny little bit. I promise we
Yeah.
won't get too much more in depth than that. Okay. Leave a comment if you have a question for referee Levi Lee. We can certainly take some questions at some point. So So how do you like when it comes to the heel or the face? Like, how do you what do you do? Do you have anything that sets you apart from the rest of the referees when you have to get in a wrestler's face, or you know what I mean? When you actually have to get involved as a character, as the referee involved in a match, do you have anything that you do that
So
you or
so
anything or something that maybe you modeled your style of refereeing after somebody?
so I kind of like basically kind of make sure the wrestler doesn't cheat, like obey the rules, kind of like make sure like he follows like the normal typical 5 count, like kind of keep it under control and kind of keep it down the middle, as like me as a referee when the heel's like doing like cheating or just kind of doing dirty stuff like to the baby face in the corner.
All right, now I'm going to ask you a question. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. If you don't want to, you can just say you don't want to. But I'm just curious when you're doing that, when the heels got them in like a sleeper hold, or an ab stretch, for example, is something that they usually see them grab the ropes on and stuff. How do you? It's always I think the timing between the wrestler and the referee when the wrestler lets go and the referee stands up is always really good. Most of the time when I see that, how do you guys plan that out? If I can ask.
So I kind of typically when somebody's like doing like the abdominal stretch, like they're grabbing the rope, I kind of count like do the count typical 5 count, like make sure that they're not their hands off the ropes and kind of if
No,
they're
I
doing
mean
it in this.
But I mean even before, like like I'm
Oh,
talking about, like when they're in the ab stretch and then they grab the rope and then they let go and you stand up and you're looking, hey, did you just have your hand on the rope here? And then you get back down in the face in the face of the guy who's in the ab stretch, and then the heel grabs the rope again. How do you time that out?
so I kind of typically just like tell them like did you grab the rope, did you kind of
So
not
it's just
use it.
communication between you and the wrestlers during the match.
Yeah, it's basically just communication on my end, like as a ref, kind of making sure like kind of asking if they had their hand on the rope and stuff.
Just knowing when you need to do your spots. That's yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
communication. How important is communication in the ring? Not just between the wrestlers, but with the referee as well.
it's very important to me. Communication is very important because if you don't communicate, it's just you're gonna get lost everywhere between the match and stuff, and just gonna throw it all off.
Have you taken any bumps yourself yet?
I have taken a bump in the corner with like a squish, kind of like a
Gotcha.
splash. Yeah,
And how was that?
it was pretty fun. It was my very first referee bump, and it just kind of I wasn't nervous, but I was kind of excited after it happened, and it kind of I didn't see it coming because the wrestler like did it towards me because he was like I was telling him whoa 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 stop, and then he like splashes me in the corner, and it just yeah
So you had to be ready for that quick.
yeah I did.
You're like, whoa, 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 okay.
Yeah.
And then here it comes. There's no whoa, whoa, whoa. They're not stopping. So Have you done any like gimmick matches or special matches, such as ladder or table or first blood
Uh,
or any other kind?
I have not, but I'm going to be doing my first bamboo match on the end of August.
Okay. And
Yeah.
like a bamboo on a pole match or something like that, like a
Yeah, something like that, where it's like bamboo sticks and stuff, but it's called like a bamboo hell match or whatever. It's like a bamboo no disqualification match or something like that.
okay. Okay. Are you excited about that? That's got to be fun doing your first, special match.
Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see it, and it's just like because for Wrestle Verte we had our first uh, guard guardrail steel chain street fight, which is kind of neat.
And what was that one?
That was like at the end of April.
No, I mean, what? Oh, it hasn't happened yet. What type of like? What is the special thing there? Because
So we had like guardrails, like steel chains on the guardrail on the ring, and it
okay,
kind of and it's like a street fight. So basically, everything would happen in the ring, kind of thing.
okay. Oh, okay. I got you. So it was like around the ring.
Yeah, and the steel chains were wrapped around the ropes.
Oh, I bet that was fun for the wrestlers.
Yeah.
Um, did you take any rope bumps on that one?
No, I did not ref that one. One of my other
Okay.
friends that's a referee ref that, and there was just like tacks everywhere in the ring, and we had to clean them all up. So,
Talk about the talk. Did you say were there rats in the ring?
tacks,
Tax. Oh
thumbtacks.
my goodness. I'm glad that I specified that. Tax. Oh yeah. How are they to sweep up? I'm curious about that.
they're they're not the easiest to sweep up. They're just kind of small little silver things that have sharp points, and it's just like they're hard to find, and they're just hard to sweep up because you have to sweep them up into like a dustpan, and it's just they're a mess.
So talk about the community of the referees, because what I've gathered is that referees kind of have their own community inside the locker rooms. They're their own kind of tight knit community. So, and feel free to give any of your fellow referees a shout out.
I want to give a shout out to Jaina Pride, which is another female referee that wrestles or that referees for APW and other promotions.
She's been on some episodes of Mayhem Media. She's definitely an excellent referee. Anybody else?
Not that I know of.
All right. But when you are backstage with your other referees, do you guys help each other out with water, or how does that work? The community of referees.
So we kind of help each other out with like kind of know who's gonna be refereeing what matches, and then kind of like talks amongst us, like kind of figure out what matches we got like for the card and then for the show, and just kind of keep it like like how referees just do it, just kind of figure out that part.
Okay, excellent. What about? Are there any matches that have stood out to you?
Uh, there's like quite a few that I've refereed and that I kind of feel honored about of refereeing is just like singles matches and triple threat matches and tag team matches that are kind of like what have stood out to me.
Would you like to talk about one of them that stands out?
So I got the referee singles match on a show that had the Rey Mysterio Jr.'s or uncle that was on the show, King Mysterio, back in last year.
Or Rey Mysterio Sr., if you know him from the old school WCW days.
Yeah.
And how was that match? How was it to ref that match?
It was pretty fun to do that.
Is there anything else that you would like to talk about, or anything that you feel that I'm missing in terms of the referee?
I just not that I know of.
No. Okay. Where can people find you? Are you available for bookings? If there's another promotion out there that would like to book you, are you available?
So yes, I am available. They can direct message me on my messenger or my Instagram account.
What is your Instagram?
Junior referee Levi Lee.
Okay, junior referee Levi Lee on Instagram, and the links will be available in the description of this video after we're finished. But did not have enough time to unfortunately gather all of his links up to be in there now. So they're not there now, but they will be once the episode is over. In about 20 or 30 minutes after the episode's over, I'll have his links available in the description. No matter where you're watching, on Facebook, YouTube, or Rumble, make sure you hit that like button. If you're watching right now and you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that share button. Feel free to leave us a comment for referee Levi Lee if you would like to. And of course, I'm going to use this opportunity to shout out the storefront. Pick yourself up some Mayhem Media apparel, bonfire.com/store/JDE Designs. That's with a Z at the end of it. We're going to be making our own storefront here in the next 10 or 12 days. So look for that. But for now, it is still available on the JDE Designs storefront, and that's with a Z at the end of it. Do you have a storefront? I didn't even ask you before we went live.
I do not, but I'm going to be getting a bunch of referee 8x10s made so I can sign them at shows.
Sweet. Okay, great. I'll send you a Bonfire link in case you ever want to make a storefront. They're a great company. They sell great products, and you don't have to manage any of the inventory. You could make the designs and then direct people to your storefront, and they can buy it right off that. Executive producer, or excuse me, he's been promoted now, the vice president of Mayhem Media, Mizpah, thanking you for sharing your story and your stuff tonight. Thank you, Nick, for commenting and for tuning in as well. Thank you for everybody else who's tuning in. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. And please share it out. Share out all our content. Referee Levi Lee, go check him out on all of his social media. Right now, he's with Rudo's Promotion and Wrestle Verite, but from what I understand, he is available to accept other bookings. So please feel free to reach out to him. Let's get him some work. I like when people come on Mayhem and then they get an increase in their following, or they get some bookings and stuff. So it's happened before. Let's make it happen for Referee Levi Lee. Let's get him some more work. So share it out. Let's get the exposure out there, everybody. And we will definitely try and get him on again. Maybe we can have a whole panel of referees at some point. We'll try and work on that maybe towards the end of the summer. That'd be pretty cool, though, right?
Yes, it would.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see about that. We'll take a look and see what we can do for maybe putting together a panel of referees for an episode. I always have good ideas when I'm closing out episodes for future episodes. So we'll see if we can make that happen. But until then, this is just going to be a shorter episode. Thank you, referee, for Levi Lee, for being on Mayhemtainment, and we will definitely have you back again on another episode to talk more about some of the matches. Maybe after you did your first gimmick match, and we'll talk about how that was. Share it out. Check out referee Levi Lee, all his social media stuff. It'll be available in the description in a couple minutes after we close out the show. Until next time, I am your host, JD. Marcus Fredrickson's going to play us out. That's the end.
Thanks for having me.